Well, hello everybody. Welcome to P.B.M. Money. And today I'm going to tell you something you've probably never heard before. And that is, you should never invest in a retirement fund. Now, the cornerstone of just about every financial planner out there is to maximize your investment in your Roth IRA or your retirement or 401k. I disagree. In this video, I'm going to explain why I think that. Now, if you want to get technical, there are two exceptions to this, and I'm going to cover it at the end, but they're not really exceptions. Now, let's start with why we are told we should have a retirement account. We are told we're to have a retirement account because of compound interest. And we've all seen this tables where if you put $1,000 in when you're 17 and by the time and you leave it sit till the time you retire, you'll have $1 million. We've all seen those tables, and it's true. The second one is, we are told that we should have a retirement account because of the tax write-off, because you can write 100% of it up to certain amounts right off the top of your income. And that's true. And we're told that we should have one so that we can have income for retirement because Social Security isn't going to be there. That may or may not be true. I don't know. But let me ask you some questions. Is that the only way you can achieve those goals, is to have a retirement account? I mean, is there another way that you could use compound interest? So let's assume that I could find different investments to do that. Why am I downplaying retirement accounts? Well, I'll give you a couple of reasons. When you concentrate all of your income or all of your retirement into one basket, you're doing a couple of things. Number one, you're giving whoever has that money on deposit, you're giving them a lot of control of your future. Number two, when the money is concentrated in one area like that, the federal government knows exactly where you are, how much money you've got, what it's making, what you started with, your income, your outgo. They know it all just from your retirement account. And the last reason I wouldn't want, and I don't have a retirement account, is because you lose flexibility. If you put your money inside of an IRA, even if it's a self-directed IRA, what are you going to do with it? Just let it sit there? Is that how you're going to make money, is to let your money sit in an account even if it's making compound interest? That's not how wealth is built. And I don't know this to be a fact, but I will tell you this. Most of the people that are wealthy that I know don't have retirement accounts unless it's just to write off, get the tax write-off. And most of them don't do it for that reason, because there's other investments where you can get a bigger tax write-off. Now, when we talk about the advantages of a retirement account, let's go down those advantages that I listed and let's see if there's other ways of doing it. As an example, compound interest. What about investing your money yourself in the stock market and directly reinvesting the profits? That's compound interest. Or if you want to put it in a mutual fund, it's the same compounding of interest that you're going to get inside of a retirement account. The only advantage to a retirement account over a mutual fund is the tax write-off. So let's talk about the tax write-off. What about real estate? Real estate is a much better write-off. Let me give you an example. If you put $1,000 into a retirement account this year, you get $1,000 right off the top. But if you put that same $1,000 into a piece of real estate, you can get depreciation for 20 years off of one piece of property. Not to mention the other tax write-offs like the repairs, the expenses, the property taxes. Those are all tax write-offs. And some of those, a lot of those happen every single year. That's a much better tax write-off than a retirement account. And the last one, income for retirement. So let's say, as an example, that your Social Security is going to give you $1,500 retirement. And your retirement account would give you another $1,000 a month. So you got $2,500 a month coming in. What if you took the same $1,500 from Social Security and had 3 or 4 pieces of rental property, each one giving you $300 a month? You still got the income, you still got the assets, you still got the tax write-off, but it's not being controlled. You don't think it's being controlled? Try opening up an IRA and then closing it after 5 years. You're going to face all kinds of penalties. You know that phrase, penalty for early withdrawal? That's a thing. And the penalty to withdraw it is quite hefty. So if you pull your money out prior to being able to legally, you're going to lose a lot of that compound interest. Okay. Now, in the beginning of this video, I said there were 2 exceptions to this. And one of them is, if you have an employer who offers a retirement account and will match funds, you should do that because that's free money. And I said technically it's not. Well, it's not. You're not investing in an IRA. You're investing in free money from your employer. Now, the second exception is this one. And again, it's not an exception. So let's say you have that employer, you have a retirement account, you stay there for 5 years, then you go work for somebody else. What do you do with that IRA? Well, you have a couple of choices. You can cash it out, take your penalty, and you lost the free money anyway, so you should have been putting it in a savings account, or you roll it over into your own IRA. So over the period of your life, if you have 4 jobs with 4 retirement accounts at 4 different jobs, and you roll all 4 of those into your own, now you have control. Now you have the money you originally put in plus the free money from your employers. So technically you're not investing in a retirement account, you're investing in keeping what you've already got. But under no circumstances do I recommend that you get an IRA and you take your money and you fund that thing on a regular basis. No way. A better option to achieve all the goals plus more of an IRA is to put your money somewhere where you can easily invest, easily withdraw without penalty, and then go buy real estate. Income producing real estate. And there are many advantages to that. Number one, you can get income immediately. You can get tax write-offs immediately. You can pay that off at any time, and then you can borrow on it at any time. So let's say you buy a couple of pieces of property when you're young, and over time you pay it off and you get ready to retire. You can go borrow on that. And all that, when you borrow money on real estate, that's a non-taxable event. Did you know that? No taxes on borrowed money on real estate. Try doing that with the retirement account. You want to take money out of, you want to take your money out of an IRA? There's penalties. There's tax consequences. Under no circumstances would I do that. None. There are many other alternatives, investing alternatives, to get the same benefits plus more. One piece of rental property will give you depreciation, tax write-offs through repairs and upkeep, instant income plus long-term income, plus the ability to buy and sell. You have none of those benefits with a retirement account. And the only thing that makes a retirement account different from a mutual fund is a tax write-off, which is given to you by the federal government. I don't want to give the government that much ability to control my retirement or my income. And that's my personal opinion. But I can tell you this. The benefits of investing and doing it yourself far outweigh a short-term, teeny tax incentive. Because everything else you can get everywhere else. You can get the same exact benefits plus more, and you should. So whenever you hear investment guys tell you to max out your Roth IRA and invest everything you can into your retirement and up to a percentage, and then you start to save. No, they got it backwards. And logic would tell you so. Well, that's all I wanted to say. You guys have a great day, a great week, and happy investing.